Innovation lives here. That is the whole point of this facility. And so why am I up here in a Hawaiian shirt? Well, it was part of a deal that I had to strike with Erik Halvorsen to encourage two of his companies to give a presentation this afternoon. These are young entrepreneurs. They're both physicians. They both have definitely pumps and pipes kind of companies. I think you're going to enjoy hearing about what they're doing to treat heart failure and to treat young children with congenital heart disease that need heart valve replacements. So I'm going to take my Hawaiian shirt off stage now, and Erik Halvorsen is going to come up here and tell you about the biodesign program and what they do here in this facility. Thank you.
So Stephen Igo and I had a little bit of a competition to see who could wear the uglier shirt. I'll win every day. He said Hawaiian shirt, and I knew I had him beat in a second. So I win. My name's Erik Halvorsen. I'm the director of the TMC Innovation Institute, where you're sitting. I thought I would give you guys a little bit of background on all the things we do here, supporting early stage companies and innovations. And really all of it is linked together because what we're trying to do is capture innovations, the best healthcare innovations coming out of the Texas Medical Center or anywhere else in the country, and trying to translate those into products that can benefit patients, right? That's it in a nutshell. So I have an opening video just to give you guys a little bit of an overview, talk a little bit about the program, and then it's really my pleasure to introduce two of our really star companies and star entrepreneurs to talk about what they're doing.
The Texas Medical Center is the largest medical center on planet Earth. In fact, you can take the second largest and the third largest, combine them, they still don't touch the Texas Medical Center. It's staggering. There are 110,000 employees, 170,000 operations a year. It's the largest collection of doctors on the planet.
The scale here and the quality of excellence here is staggering. More patients come here, more clinical research happens on this campus. It's the highest concentration of awarded scientists in the world, where you can drive from research to clinical care faster than any other place on Earth.
What we're trying to do here is take healthcare innovations and research and turn them into products that can help patients.
This is a partnership between the Texas Medical Center, the member institutions, and industry.
We want the best of the best here, and they are coming, and they're coming in droves. J&J, the largest life science company in the world, here. Next was AT&T. Now we're working with Apple. We are creating this machinery of innovation that is unstoppable. The momentum is real. It's a place that will change the way in which discovery is done.
An innovation that is occurring here is tremendous. That you cannot replicate.
We have an unfair advantage. We're already together on one campus. This is the beginning of building a life sciences industry in Texas.
All right. So not to make an off-color joke, but size does matter as it relates to a lot of things, and especially with the Texas Medical Center, the biggest medical center in the country, 21 different hospitals, 59 organizations, 110,000 employees, 10 million patient visits a year. Think about all the data. Think about all the innovation that's going on. Over $2 billion of research goes on this campus, which is spurring a lot of the innovations that you've seen and are part of. It is an amazing place where discoveries happen, where clinical translation happens, and it's why we're actually drawing companies from all over the world. So right now, we're evaluating applications for our new digital health cohort. We just got done graduating 20 medical device companies out of our accelerator, and we had 250 applications from all over the world. And they're trying to come here because of the program, but because you've got this amazing medical campus where you can test out your product, where you can connect with clinicians and researchers and nurses and other innovators to try to get input on that product and ultimately drive it closer to clinical application. So it really is an amazing resource here in Houston. As I mentioned, this is made up of, and this is an incomplete list because we couldn't put the logos of all 59 organizations, but you recognize the names, these amazing hospitals, these universities and academic institutions as well. And again, these are sources of innovation, but these are key partners for the innovators from all over the world to test out those products and drive them towards clinical application. The Innovation Institute, which you sit inside of, this is about 110,000 square feet of space that we've renovated to support healthcare startup companies. The building itself is 700,000 square feet, former Nabisco cookie factory. If you've never heard that before, we say it all the time. Now I just make really bad jokes about taking half-baked ideas from entrepreneurs and turning them into something, I don't know, like an Oreo. The Innovation Institute is one of 5 institutes here at the Texas Medical Center that we have launched in the last couple of years, including health policy and clinical research, and genomics and regenerative medicine are still in the planning phases. Just to kind of walk through the blueprint, and hopefully all of you have either had a tour or will have a tour while you're here of the space. It is, I think, quite impressive and a great vehicle for the companies who are here. TMCX is kind of the main space you're in, and back behind the collaboration sign over there. And this is where most of our startup companies are. So we'll have between 20 and 30 healthcare startup companies here in the space. As I mentioned, it's a competitive basis to get into our accelerator program. But once you're in, here's a key thing. We don't charge the companies any money, and we don't take any equity. It's a fully subsidized, free program for these startup companies. We run them through our curriculum. We have an advisor-mentor network, and I see a number of familiar faces in the crowd here that serve as advisors to our companies. And so it's really a fantastic program. It's about 4.5 months. And should those companies choose to stay here in Houston, we have a home for them, and many have done that. Our program, as I mentioned, starts off with our boot camp. We have a lot of different advisors and member institutions and a lot of curriculum hours as well built in. X Plus, which is on the other side of the wall, you can think about that as kind of being a little bit more of a permanent home for these companies. They lease space everywhere from a single office to a big footprint, and we've got about 25 companies over there as well. The biodesign program, which I'm going to talk a little bit about, also very interesting. We have an open application, so I'm encouraging, I see a lot of people here, might be engineers, might be doctors. This is a very unique program, and you're going to hear from a graduate of that program coming up next. The biodesign is a 1-year paid fellowship where we form 2 teams, 1 team in digital health, 1 team in medical device. We embed those folks within the hospitals where they go side by side with different surgeons and doctors and nurses. They do a lot of clinical observation of procedures, and they categorize all these unmet needs where a better device or a better piece of digital health or software could be built to help patients. They'll come up with lists of 400 or 500 different things, and we walk them through a process to get down to 3, then 2, and then 1, which they ultimately then spend the remainder of the program building out a prototype of that device or the wireframe or the original prototype of the digital health. We'll then put intellectual property around that. We'll start a company, and the company will roll right into our accelerator. And the guy you're going to hear from next came out of our biodesign program. His company went right into our accelerator, graduated from the accelerator, and he's going to tell you about where they are right now. So this is literally a ground-up build of your product and company on our dime. So it's a pretty good deal. As I mentioned, we've had really good success. We've now graduated 4 of these, or 2 classes, 4 companies. And these companies have won business plan competitions. They've raised lots of capital. We had 2 people named to the 30 under 30, or was it 40 under 40? 20 under 20? I forget. There's something like that. But these are super, super smart, talented folks. Again, backgrounds in clinical, engineering, electrical, programming, design, business, you name it. So again, I would encourage you, if this is of interest to you, please share this with your networks. Application ends in January. Very competitive process, but really just a fantastic program. Johnson & Johnson, great corporate partner right through here. You can kind of look, and I think they might also be doing tours and take a look. They've got about 40,000 square feet of space over there. Predominantly wet lab, so life sciences companies, but of course being the biggest pharmaceutical healthcare company in the world, lots of direct-to-consumer, digital health, medical device as well. They've got 30 companies over there. So really all together under this roof, you've got 100 companies, 100 healthcare companies right here at the Innovation Institute, and more coming. AT&T, also a fantastic corporate partner in the back corner there as well. They're also, this is their only digital health, or sorry, their only healthcare foundry, very interested in kind of the Internet of Things, connected devices, with a very big project underway around aging in place. How do we keep our elderly parents and family members in their homes rather than in hospitals? How do we do it in a sort of in a safe and monitored way? Great project with them. And then, I know there's a lot of device people here in the audience. If you haven't had a chance yet, the brand new Johnson & Johnson Center for Device Innovation, right down the hallway over there. Also about 40,000 square feet, state-of-the-art, everything you want to build a product. So you can literally go from a design on your napkin to a prototype in less than 24 hours with all the bench testing and iterative stuff you need to do to make the next prototype. And then when you get to that point where you're ready to do in-animal testing, right down here, Methodist Hospital and others, right? And when you're ready to go beyond animal testing and you got the regulatory approvals and you're ready to do clinical trials, you got the biggest medical center right here at your disposal. So this is now becoming essentially Johnson & Johnson's stop. I mean, this is where the first devices, the first ideas, they're going to go from ideas to prototypes right here. And for the doctors and other innovators here in Houston who have an idea, this is going to be a good place where you can go take that idea and get that prototype made. So very exciting. Grand opening just a couple of weeks ago, and we're super excited that Johnson & Johnson just made another bet on Houston and the TMC Innovation Institute. Couldn't do this without a fantastic team that I have here. We love what we do. It makes it easy to get up and go to work in the morning when you're working with amazing entrepreneurs and clinicians who are not sort of standing pat and saying, I need a better device, I need a better digital health to help my patients, and that's what we do. Anything we can do to help these entrepreneurs. So I just want to say a quick thank you to my team. We couldn't do what we do without you guys.